And we're live. So we're back. We're back from Uplift Florae, and today I am with Rachel Rose and Amanda. Hi, how are you? Everybody's here. We're going to talk a little bit about getting outside in the fall and connecting with nature and how that helps your spirit and your body and your mind get uplifted. And then obviously we'll talk about some other pieces to it. If you like the content that we have, hit subscribe and also hit the little bell so you get notified when there's new content that comes out of the channel. And in the meantime, Rachel, why don't you give a little bit of a quick background so that people know who you are and what you're doing?
Yeah, thanks, Phil. Hi, everybody. I'm Rachel. My background is I am a lifelong learner when it comes to healthy living and nutrition in general. But I previously did bikini competitions, and powerlifting is, a huge passion of mine in general. But backpacking, hiking, that connecting to nature piece. So that's a little bit about me. And Amanda, take it away.
Thanks, Rachel. Similarly, love learning about ways to maintain my health and well-being and the health and well-being of the planet. I am a former biology teacher and current yoga instructor, and I'm also currently enrolled in a doctoral program for acupuncture and herbal medicine. So I'm very committed to how we can live in sync with nature and the seasons and all of the beautiful foods that nature has to offer us and heal for us.
Yeah, that's just a fantastic. You both have just great backgrounds. I have never done a bikini competition. I have tried to do powerlifting, but I don't do bikini competitions.
Very different than holistic, going on walks, but it's all part of the process.
It is. So, but yeah, let's get started. I mean, the focus that we had was really, and you said it best a couple of minutes ago, Amanda, or a minute ago, about how we connect and how we connect with nature. Because again, the products are based in nature. We're all plant-based products. All the ingredients are plant-based, and so connecting with nature is very important. But the other part to connecting with nature is really just getting out there and putting yourself out there, leaving the phone, getting out there and going for a walk, 15 minutes, half an hour, however, whatever you can do, but really just getting out there. So if you've got anything to add about that, Amanda?
Oh, I have plenty I could add about that. I mean, I think, it's such a simple concept that, and really it comes back to the chemicals that the trees are, and really all the plants are using to communicate with each other, are chemicals that we interact with too, and they have a positive impact on our mood, on our spirit. They're like happy chemicals. And so you can really get so much out of even just a few minutes in nature. And there's tons of scientific evidence coming out now for what happens to your body when you do spend time in nature. And they've had a lot of evidence about how it increases your energy, it boosts your immune system, it boosts your mood. So there's a whole long list of benefits to just being in nature, even as opposed to like walking in a city. There's so much more benefit to just getting in some trees.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I think, you've gone on these hikes by yourself in, multi-day hikes, multi-week hikes. And, it's not something that I think I can do. And we've talked about that before, but, Rachel, you said you'd love to hike and connect with nature. And
there's nothing like it. Yeah. That's fascinating to, hear the scientific backing to, what we experience when we're out there in nature. Something that a previous coach of mine said is, that you can do everything that you want in the gym, but if your mental health and your spiritual health isn't aligned, it doesn't matter what, you're looking like up there. You're not going to feel good. You're not going to be aligning, with your body long term. So getting out there and being able to disconnect, like you mentioned, Phil, and just experiencing things, just as in this present moment, what is my body telling me? What is what are my surroundings telling me? You know, the endorphin rush that you get from that is like nothing else.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It amazes me. I'm sorry, man. It amazes me that, you know, what I go out, and I was talking about this once before. I go out on the weekends and I run. Well, I try and run during the week too, but on the weekends I try and do a longer run. But I never run with my phone. I just can't do it. I leave it at home, and it amazes me to see people out there walking and running and, you know, doing stuff, and they've got their phone in their hand, and, you know, and I understand you're listening to music, but the thing that amazes me are the people that are out there with their earbuds in that are having phone conversations when you're out there running. And I'm thinking, I'm gasping for air. I can barely breathe. And you're having a phone conversation. You know, I just did the half marathon in Baltimore a couple of weeks ago, and there were actually people on the run that were talking and, you know, showing people as they were running what they were doing. And I'm thinking, can you focus? Can we not leave our phone home for a little while? I just think that for me, you lose something about it. There's something about the solitude to me of running and just being out there, you know, and I try and run, you know, where it's not urban, but I just think it's a much more beneficial thing, you know?
Yeah, that's part of what I wanted to grab onto of what Rachel said about disconnecting from the craziness of the world that our phone allows us too much access to.
Yeah.
And in that disconnecting from that, we get to reconnect with ourselves and the moment, as Rachel was mentioning. And I think that that is one of the like underpinnings of it is it's like going in nature and absorbing all of the juiciness from the nature around you, plus not having your phone is like, wow, an added little bonus of like healing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
We're in the digital age, you know. I mean, all of us, especially post-pandemic, are increasing our screen time, whether it's for work or for doom scrolling, as they like to call it. And you know, we don't have the chance to play with sticks in the mud like we did as kids. One of the few times in, you know, our adult worlds that we're able to actually be present and not worry about notifications and get into that, you know, parasympathetic almost state that, you know, you can get in with yoga, but you can do that from anywhere. You can be active. For me, backpacking, it sounds like Amanda and I align on those multi-day backpacking trips. I've been seeing a phenomenon in the world, you know, like the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
Where else are you going to see that? You know, that moment is now. So, and you carry that that feeling of, you know, freedom and alignment with you into that how you balance your workday, or at least that's what, you know, I'm always trying to achieve in my own life.
I feel that same way. Every time I take a trip like that, I think to myself, how can I carry this back into like the real world? Even though that was the real world too, it's like, how can I, like, what are the lessons that I take that are going to make like work feel more parasympathetic?
Yeah. I mean, you know, and you're out there in nature and, you know, we've got pieces, right? We look at, you know, even the products that we have that are all based in nature and all based on plant-based. And you look at something like, you know, cocoa, which obviously is the foundation of chocolate, right? And our cocoa, which I know is one of your favorites, Amanda, is the hot, sexy cocoa. You know, that there's so many benefits to what those ingredients do. You know, we've got, you know, adaptogenics in there that are helping your body to improve and helping your mind to improve and enhancing and soothing and uplifting. And, you know, even chocolate, as much as, you know, there's chocolate and there's cocoa, and then there's sort of synthetic chocolate that's been made with tons of sugar. We don't have, you know, sugar in there. But really, when you look at the cocoa, it's very, in and of itself, right? It releases serotonin in the body, so which is the happiness hormone, and so, you know, all of the adaptogens, which are rich in phytonutrients, antioxidants. So even just the product itself, or what we put in our bodies, is I guess a better way of saying it, helps us connect with nature and helps us feel better, right? Because I think there's, again, we have no preservatives in these things. We have no fillers, no sugars, no monosaturates, nothing. It's just what you find in nature. And I think that has a big impact on how our bodies feel every day, right? What we put in them is going to impact how we feel.
Yes, and something that you just said helped me link the like nature bathing, the being in nature, and the food we eat, specifically the cacao and the cocoa. The way that they help us produce serotonin is because they contain the amino acid tryptophan, which is a building block, or like really a starting point for serotonin production in our gut and in our brain. And so if you're going in nature, which is going to boost your mood via serotonin, but you don't have the building blocks to make the serotonin, then you're only going to get so much of a positive impact. But if you're giving your body the food it needs from the inside out, and then being in nature from the outside in, and then they can really work together to have a profound effect on your mental health.
Yeah, I agree. I personally am addicted to the coffee. I drink it all day long. I do. I've got it like right here, and I drink it all
you just
day long.
Drink the powder all day long.
Yeah, well, that's what's in the cup. I drink the coffee all day, and I can't because it's not. I mean, it's coffee, but it's got other things that make me sort of feel good. Not that I want to digress, but I'm just saying I think that the products themselves, the way we developed them, and the reason we developed them was all to sort of look at feeding our bodies from the inside, as well as helping ourselves feel better every day, and get rid of the sugar and get rid of the things that aren't good for us, and so that we feel uplifted every day. So
yeah, just to excuse me, just to close us out, I exactly what both of you have said. I'm addicted to the hot cocoa as well, and I get a lot of anxiety. If I'm like stepping onto a meeting for the first time and there's cameras, I'm not a coffee drinker. So, but I do love sweet things, especially if they're not going to give that sugar crash after, or a headache. So that is my perfect remedy for, knowing that I'm putting pure ingredients that are going to facilitate that chemical reaction. And I feel it almost immediately. I'm happy that I get to drink chocolate all the time, but it calms me down. It brings me back to center. And having a product that I can rely on like that every day is a gift.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good way to bring this to a close. But I think some really good stuff, and we'll talk about it more in the future, in future episodes, and we'll talk more about nature in the future. And so thanks you guys for joining us today. And again, for all of you out there, don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell so that you get notified when we put new content up. And Rachel and Amanda will have some information about how to link up with them on Instagram and Facebook, and Amanda's yoga channel, because she does a really good job with online yoga classes. So we'll learn more about them in the future. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Good to join. Thank you for joining us.
Oh no, it's still going.
I think we're recording. I think the bill's gone.
He, instead of stopping the recording, he left the studio.